Flight boss, bitch, you know, for sure. You're now listening to the Mind Eminent Terry's Moon. I'm the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God's duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And right now, goddamn, I just gotta address a few issues right now. Now, I don't want anybody, I don't need no disagreements or no because I've been getting this through emails and a lot of people, I have people who disagree with the concept of sleeping planets. I have people who don't understand the concept of sleeping planets, and I have people who just want me to explain more and want to understand more about what I mean by when I say sleeping planets. Alright, now, let's get into each sleeping planet now. Let's get into what I'm actually talking about, because everybody need to be on the same page. If you're on my page and you're listening to me, I like to believe you're part of my soul group, but if you throw me any oppositions or something like that, I don't like to feel attacked. So right now, I'm laying out all the cards on the table so we can all be on the same page. Now, anybody who disagree with this contract that I'm giving out with actually being on the same page or not, look, see, being on the same page doesn't have to mean we have to agree, but we can agree to disagree on a subject that comes to an agreement anyway. So that's what I mean by this. So anyone who want to choose to oppose this, then you're not applying yourself with my alignment and my energy flow. So I just advise you to stop watching, because any knowledge I give out is from the true vine, and it should be understood on a one level, whether you have your own perception of it or not. It's okay to have your own perception of something, but it's different to try to argue the perception. And what I'm giving off on my channel is the perception. Whether how you take the perception or not is on you. But I'm giving you the actual perception. You know what I'm saying? You may think I'm cocky or you think I'm kind of arrogant when I say that, but I don't think I said anything on my channel that'll make you think otherwise. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into this. Sleeping planets. Now let's talk about sleep in general. Now, 9 times out of 10, if you don't understand what I'm talking about or you're disagreeing what I'm talking about, you may have the wrong idea or the wrong conception of what I mean by sleep, because you may be tying sleep to a earth and a human mankind type thing. Now I need you to understand, I don't say I'm the Archangel Uriel at the beginning of my videos for no reason. I mean that. So you have to understand, if you listen to me and if I'm actually talking about a subject and if I'm talking about something, you know I'm not talking about it from an earth perspective. So know what I'm talking about, and to draw it down to a perspective that if you want to understand it, yeah, you can make analogies and stuff to earth perspective. But just know when I'm talking, I'm not talking solely from an earth realm. I'm not human. So don't do me like that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all may do Jesus and stuff like that, and God and y'all God like that, but the God I'm thinking about and my God, my dad, my father ain't what y'all be trying to apply yourself to. So I just want to set that forth right now. So when I'm talking about earth, I'm not talking about sleep from an earth perspective of just when regular humans want to go to sleep. Now, if we want to talk about it on an earth level, I can make sense out of it for you. Now, I'm going to make sense out of it. Now, when we want to talk about you going to sleep on earth, now when the body go to sleep, what happens when the body go to sleep? Now, we're going to look at your body as a celestial being, as a planet itself. Now, say you're a celestial being, you're on earth. When the body, the mind, when the mind don't sleep, but when your body go to sleep, it rests, right? It rests. Now, what happens when you go to sleep? You dream. What happens when you dream? You're in another realm. Right? Now, I just made a Yin and Yang video, so I don't want to bring Yin and Yang into this because I end up getting into other thing. I want to stay on topic. Now, when you dream, you're in another realm. Now, in this realm, right, you're taking examples from the Yang realm and using that art and using that color that you see, and you're creating things in the Yin realm. So you're living this creation in the Yin realm. So the Yin realm is the creator, and the Yang is the creation. So you need to understand that. That's a whole nother video. I'm gonna break that down so we can understand and have a better concept of what's actually a God, because there's many gods, but a lot of people cling to one God and think that it's the end all and be all, where you didn't even pass level 1 yet at even understanding the concept of the world around you before you can even get to talking about my Father. So look, when we want to talk about sleep on earth, now when we talk about sleep, you're in that realm. You're creating you're using the colors and the paints and stuff from the yang, and you're creating this illusion that, and this is, you only can create in the yin realm. You can't do that in the yang realm. Like, say you about to draw a picture, you have to think about what you're going to draw, right? That's the yin realm. That's what you can't see. People don't know what you're about to draw yet because you haven't told nobody or you haven't drew it yet. Is it something within you? Something you can't see. Yin realm. Now, when you actually put that into action and draw it out, now with colors that people can see now and things that we can see, and you show it off and you put that into action, now you brought the yin realm into the yang realm. So that's the smallest manifestation of an example that I can give you when I say the yin is the creator and the yin is the creation. The God concept goes beyond that. There's levels beyond that. But y'all are so below on levels, y'all not even there yet. So before you even get there, there's hundreds of other levels. But y'all, as long as y'all watch me, I'm gonna work y'all way up there, and I'm gonna go up there with y'all so we can all be there as one and really start doing some damage in this world. You know, so that's why I really only want my soul group to listen, because I can get along better. We can expand better. That's saying we got a big orb. Then once we get somebody who not part of our soul system come in and do some other shit, they put stuff. It's like, say the orb is a tire. We run over a nail or something. We run over tar, get up under our tires and shit. The tire get flattened and other shit added on to the tire. That's other shit we got to deal with. You got to clean off the tire or go get a new tire. So that's like we got to go cleanse our orb or something, because we're gonna get programmed with other perceptions from other outside beings. I don't really like to do that because I'll be wasting other videos that's 20 minutes attacking beings that I don't need to be wasting my time on. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Back to the when we sleep. Now, when you sleep here as a human, now, once you're in this realm and you're creating everything with this art or something like that, you know what I'm saying? Now, within your dream, it may seem unreal. So you may feel like you can do things you can't do, or you may feel like you're out of control. So you have people who can be in control of their dreams, who spirit travel. Then you have people who just experience their dreams. That's people who they're just seeing experience and taking little bits and pieces of information and putting it together when they wake up in the yang realm, but they're just experiencing, they're not actually controlling it. Just like the show, if y'all watch Legends, the show, when you had the main villain, Cyrus, I forgot his name, Cyrus or something like that, and when he told the time traveler dude, the leader of the good guys and shit, he walked up to him, he was like, yeah, you may be a time master, but I'm a master of time. Now, what do he mean by that? This is what he meant. He meant that, okay, you may be a time master, you may know how to jump through time with that spaceship because they taught you that, but I'm a master of time. So within the show now, we're getting towards the grand finale, it shows that he was part of the organization that they was controlling future events. So what he meant by it is he controlled time, and other dudes just know how to go through the time. So there's a difference. So that's what we mean by the dream world. The dream world, you actually can control, but you have people who just don't control their dreams. But just in that realm, you can. That's things you can control. You really can't control nothing in this realm. But you have a lot of theologies and programs and religions and sciences out here that kind of mix it up. They make you think that you control this realm, but you don't control that realm. So then you get all fucked up and mixed up and shit like that. But as far as the sleeping, you know what I'm saying? When you go back and then you go in your dreams, you see stuff and understand stuff that you wouldn't see when you're awake. Right? You do certain things in your dreams that you wouldn't do awake. Then you won't do certain things in your dreams that you will do awake. You know what I'm saying? You ever been a person who fought a lot of people in the yang realm on earth? Like when you awoke, you fight a lot of people, but then in your dreams, when you getting ready to fight somebody, it feel like you can't swing. You getting ready to fight and you had that feeling that you want to swing, but you can't swing. That's the dream trying to tell you something else. It's trying to tell you something else and lead you into another direction in the yang realm. But in the dream, it played out that you can't swing. So that's an example of there's stuff in that you, when you sleep, there's stuff that you won't do that you would do if you was woke. You would swing on anybody when you woke, but in the sleep, for some reason, like it's like, or it may come to you as you're running from somebody, or you people know, like, and I'm just using that as an example. Everybody have contradicting contradicting dreams. You know what I'm saying? So that's an example right there. So now when we want to get into the planets now, use that as the analogy of what I mean with the sleeping planets. Now, let's talk about sleeping planets now. Let's start with the sun. Now, the sun. The sun is exalted in Aries, which means the sun falls in Libra. So that this means that the sun is sleep in Libra. So, now I don't want y'all to get scared and say, okay, the sun means vitality. It means actions. Oh, it means your sole purpose. Oh, it means this. Oh, so since it's sleep here, that means it's not at work. That mean it's not working. That means it's tired. That means I can't get up and do actions. No, like listen to me. What I'm trying to tell you, don't compare me just to this realm. I blend the two realms and then create this channel. You know what I'm saying? That's yin and yang. You know what I'm saying? I'm not speaking solely from an earth perspective. So I just gave you the examples. What you do when you sleep. You know what I'm saying? So now, what the sun gonna do when it sleep? Going by my perspective of sleep, or my example of sleep. Not no regular Monday human. We got that out the way, right? Now, let's talk about my example of sleep. Now, the sun is asleep now. So what the sun doing now? The sun is doing things that sometimes it is doing things that it wouldn't do if it was awake. And sometimes it's doing things, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's doing things when it's asleep that it wouldn't do when it's awake. And sometimes it's doing things that it won't do when it's awake, right? So look at Libras and look at Libra's actions. Right now, what is Libra? Libra is the balanced sign. Libras like to look at both sides, and they like to relate to an other. You know what I'm saying? It may be a bunch of people in a room. Say that it's one Libra and they're amongst 4 people, and these 4 people have different ideas of a subject, right? Now, instead of the Libra acting as an Aquarius and throwing out an idea that all 4 people could try to understand, and instead of being a Gemini, just throwing an idea and switching the subject when they start to see that this conversation is not going nowhere, let's switch the subject and talk about something else, and let's just talk about 100 different things at one time. It's going to do the Libra way. It's going to say, okay, well, how do you feel about it? So it's getting that one-on-one connection. Okay, then boom, how do you feel about it? Okay, it's getting that one-on-one connection, right? Then the Libra going to come to its own conclusion of how do they feel about it, just based on how understanding how each individual felt about it on a one-on-one basis. Okay, that's Libra. So that's the one-on-one relating. So how we apply that to the sun, okay, the actions. Now let's talk about actions here. Now when the sun get here, the sun represents your actions. Everything that's under actions, which is your individuality, your vitality, things that you're into, things that you act on. Basically how you act. How you act is your sun sign. So that's basically a lot of times, okay, people may see because the sun, since the sun is exalted in Aries, the sun is exalted in the first house also. So it represents the whole first house archetype. So a lot of times that can play out as this is how people first see. This is your first light, the first thing they see. Like if you was just born, right, and you was consciously aware of stuff, and then you first seen the sun for the first time. That's like, compare that to the rising. That's the first thing. That's the first thing you see. So that's the only thing you know the example of it to do. But when you start to, as time go on and you start to see the sun actions, you start to see, okay, it's over there sometimes, it's over there sometimes, it's over there sometimes. So you're starting to see how the sun act. That's the actions of the sun. So once you see the personality of it, you see, okay, is this there? You see how it look or whatever like that. Compare that to the rising. When people first see you, okay, they see you now. This is their first awareness of you, your personality, their first impression, how you look. Basically, how you first seen the sun, how you look, or whatever like that. Boom. Now, once a person starts to get to know you and start to boom, boom, boom. Now, let's separate the sun from the first house. Now, when the sun is just the sun, it's your actions. So once a person starts to get to know you, what do they start to see? Your actions. How you act in situations. How you act upon things. This is what they start to see. Besides what they initially see, or your just personality of you just being there. Yeah, they know you yellow if you was the sun. Okay, yeah, they know you yellow. They know you hot. Okay, in the rising, in the first house, okay, they know how you look. They know how you dress. Boom. You know what I'm saying? They know your personality. Dude, then when we just say the sun by itself, your actions or whatever like that, boom, okay, this is how you act. Now they starting to get to know how you act, which is your sun sign without it being in your first house. Just your sun sign itself. This is how you act. This is how you know how to separate your rising and your sun sign. Your rising is your personality, your appearance. Your sun sign is how you act. How you carry that out. You know what I'm saying? So when the sun is asleep, it's doing things that it may. So okay, now the sun is asleep in Libra. So Libras themselves, what do Libras do? They seem to be, sometimes they can seem to be more goal orientated than Aries. You know why? Because the sun is asleep here. So when you have a lot of Libras' basic archetype to be lazy, which I'm gonna get into letters in my metaphysics videos too. Every letter is applied to something. If you, whatever letter your name start with, it applies to everything that start with them letters. Due to the falsification of the English language and all the mixtures of all the language that we came about, we have to look at letters and language, and we have to look at spelling as spells. And spells equate to sigils, and sigils equate to archetypes, and archetypes equate to like temples. Like, you know, back then when they used to make temples and make shapes and make geographical shapes and stuff like that, all letters and all that shit, spelling and stuff tied back to that. You know what I'm saying? It ties to that. So when we using that here, yeah, we created the English language. You might not know what we're talking about, but if you can understand letters and it being part of like the runes and the shape of it, and understand like A and then the meaning behind